I'm Virginia Valentine.
And I'm Emerson Valentine.
I'm Corbin Valentine.
Cassandra Valentine.
Have you ever thought about what pollution does to the sea turtles in our oceans? I'm Emily Valentine, and today I want to talk about how pollution affects our sea turtles. So, pollution, there's many different forms of it. There's ghost netting, which is when nets are left from boats in the ocean. And turtles can get trapped in them very easily, even big ones like the two types that I'll talk about later, which are leatherbacks and green sea turtles. So these turtles also are affected by the plastic pollutions that we put in our oceans. We may not think that a straw is a lot, but to a sea turtle, have you ever, like kids with asthma and stuff like that, breathing through a straw? Sometimes turtles will swallow them and it'll be like they have asthma, but they don't have those inhalers that people can get when they have the asthma. There's also things like plastic cups that they mistake as their food. Plastic bags a lot of the time they'll mistake as their food because they look a lot like jellyfish, which is one of the main things in their diet that they eat. So these sea turtles a lot of the time will end up dying because they inhale these different things that we put into our oceans every day that we don't ever even think about. We don't think about that plastic bag that just blew out of our pickup or that styrofoam cup that we threw out on the road. We don't think about that stuff. But even in northwest Kansas, our trash can go to the ocean. We have winds that come in and blow, and it blows trash, feed sacks, all over. So that can get into our oceans, it can get into our river streams, and a lot of our rivers will connect at some point with our oceans. And it affects all animals in our oceans. So it even affects our biggest sea turtles, like I said earlier, leatherbacks. Leatherbacks can weigh up to 2,200 pounds each. Leatherbacks are the biggest sea turtle, but they don't have scales like other types of sea turtles like the Kim Bradleys and stuff like that. And they also don't have a hard shell. They are the biggest soft shell sea turtle in the ocean. So these guys, these big turtles, they're kind of a teardrop shape. They have a gray or black back on them, and they have a white stomach. As babies, hatchlings, they tend to have polka dots on them. They have white polka dots until they get older. So they hatch a lot of the time. They're Atlantic and Pacific and the Indian Oceans is where they mainly stay at. They swim up to 10,000 miles a year. That's 10,000 miles that they have that chance to get into one of those fish nets that you just cut off because it's stuck on that rock, or, So they have a really big chance of getting in one of those nets. So we got to watch what we put into our oceans, what we leave in our oceans, the trash we leave behind on the beach, There's all sorts of different things that go into our oceans. Toxins, cigarette butts, they end up actually polluting our oceans. The same as alcohol and stuff. When alcohol gets dumped in the ocean, that partially empty beer bottle that you throw out goes in our oceans, and it can actually make the sea animals very sick. And sea turtles a lot of the time will mistake things as that because they don't eat a lot of other fish. They like to eat the jellyfish. They eat seaweed. And so, the nets kind of look like seaweed. They get stuck in the seaweed and end up being able to be caught in them because they're just trying to get their food. The other type of sea turtle is a green sea turtle. And they only weigh 300 to 350 pounds. They're not as big, but they're the biggest hard shell sea turtle. And they have a brown or black shell and a yellowish underside. So the reason that all of these have this dark top, light bottom is called counter shading. And counter shading is where they have the dark top, light belly, and it makes it harder for predators like sharks and stuff like that to see them. So when a shark looks up, they see that light from the surface. Well, all they're seeing is a white or yellowish body. And I've done a lot of research on turtles, and most of them have this counter shading. A lot of fish do as well. Also, like when you look from above, like if they're swimming deeper down, it blends in with that deepness down there and that darkness. So that helps them a lot, but that doesn't help against pollution. These sea turtles, the green sea turtles live mainly in the Gulf and the Atlantic Oceans in the U.S., like near the U.S., and a lot of the places they nest. But our pollution doesn't help that. So these sea turtles are very similar, and I want to save them. Thank you.
That was good and interesting, honey. Now the leatherback